Welcome to the Mental Health Show. My name is Shamika Samuels. I hope that you had a good day today, this evening. Today on this episode, we're going to talk about, I just want to wish you guys a happy new year, happy year building reflection, all those things that we're going through today. And today in January, we're talking about build up our community and mental health topics on mental health data. So we believe in build up community. We believe in what we are called to do and how we do certain things in life. And we know in life we all develop, and I love this day because at the end of the show, at the end of the episode, I'm going to show you guys my designs that I did for my line. So I'm building up a company called Basketball Wellness Inc. And I've been doing this samples from since day one, and I ordered two of my work shirts that I'm gonna be proposition for my office space and for my staff to wear these shirts right here. And I want to share with you something today. And today is a good day to be, here to build up community and to understand what we're going through in community. And I know taking upon my concerns about my community, it's like we build up a community where we're blending in affordability. And this is what it is, blending affordability with mental health, wellness, and community connection right here in Manhattan and also in my community, Brooklyn. And I've been, imagine a place where you live at and you have your mental health data in the right position in your life. And sometimes your lifestyle and mental health, it accumulates to how we serve as a community. And I think that you're building up your community as a one Dalmatian. I can't say 100 Dalmatian, but one Dalmatian. You know what I'm saying? So I could build up a community with Basketball Wellness IMC, and that's the name of my company. I started this company back in let's say back in 2025, and it's been going on successfully for this year. And this year is going to be building on community, building on success, building on foundation, and also building on the type of understanding of what a community is and what a mental health is. And the mental health data is that my name is Shamika Samuels. My name is on the line of this brand, right? So I'm from Basketball Wellness Inc. and INC, and today I want to share closer to my heart a project that blends affordable housing with mental health, wellness, and community connection right here in my city, Brooklyn. And I imagine where affordable living is not just about having a roof over your head. It's also about feeling safe and support truly at home. This is the vision that behind a redevelopment of my building called 1543 Nostrand Avenue, and a space where soon transform into so much more than apartments. I think that when I look at my grandma Barbara Rankin, God rest her soul, and I look at my grandma's legacy and vision of this brand. And my grandma Barbara was the one who had visualized me. She was my best friend. She went to be with Yahweh in 2021. And when she was sick, the last thing that she wanted to do was take a picture with my family members and my aunts and my cousins them. And I didn't want to be involved in that because I felt like in my position, my grandma was like one of the truest legends of Nostrand Avenue. She was a legend that could build me up and that could make me feel good about myself. Cleaning up myself is like I clean up my face. I come on the show and it was very cold, so I had to clean up myself before I come on the camera. You can't come on the camera with your nose you gotta come professional and at a psychological and how to mentor data yourself and how to create yourself. So this is what we're doing, right? And I'm gonna show you something. This is what we're doing, right? So one of the samples that we're actually looking at today is to learn how to develop what mental health is about and what we're trying to build and develop. I could tell you this. Sometimes we see ourselves doing better things. We see ourselves doing bigger things. And when I look at media and technology, when I look at mental health data, I look at it as a progressive of how we relocate our actions. Today I did a new assignment. Yesterday I started a new assignment in Far Rockaway, Queens, and I went to an area where it wasn't looking like it was before when I started the assignment. And I said, I look at Far Rockaway as I look at East Flatbush, Brooklyn, and I see myself as studies. So basketball wells and gender studies in psychological particular. Hear how we communicate with our interaction towards each other in terms that we can help us understand how we could expedite our emotions as building up each other in growth and patterns of recreation. And I think about that as building up community and patterns of recreation. I see a lot of for rent signs, for lease signs at Far Rockaway. Far Rockaway, Queens has been a lower family economic growth as far as resurrect of the community of Queens. And the certain things Far Rockaway is that a lot of people don't realize that area where we come from in Far Rockaway is a growth where people build up mental health data, and especially at Ridge, I think it's Ridge Run Housing over by the last up on the Q22, and a lot of families that receiving Section 8 and public assistance at that area, they're looking for redevelopment. They're looking for redesign. They look at a reflection of Brooklyn and a reflection of that area, Queens. So I see myself looking at that area as a one Dalmatian. And we could turn that from one Dalmatian to 100 Dalmatians. But we could have to see at what our lifestyle is bringing us to. And what we doing as a mental health style is about learning how to develop mental health as a direction. I tell people when we grow in community, we grow in finding our peace and finding our lifestyle. And one thing about finding your peace is that we can build on developing a clue, and we could build on developing what we are going to do as far as build up and understand the culture of our life. I think our lifestyle is that when we build up culture is more like, okay, I'm building up my culture, but I'm building up my swag and my style of how we could do learning. And certain things in learning is like life is about learning how to have equal body movements of what your body image is. I tell people, stop buying fast food restaurants like Bojangles. There's a Bojangles over by Church Avenue, and they just opened up. It used to be a Mitsubishi's dealership, and they actually end up closing down, and they actually shut down the dealership. It was over by Kings Highway and Kings Highway and Utica, Kings Highway and Church, right by the 35 bus stop, and they turn it into a fast food joint. A lot of people eating a lot of fast food, and a lot of people don't realize what these fast food can do to your body. And it makes you look like a hawk. You know what I'm saying? It makes you look big like a hawk. But at the end of the day, people don't listen to eat healthy. I tell people check out Fuel Fevers on 18th Ave. They got some. I try their food. Their food is very delicious. You know what I'm saying? I try their food because a lot of people don't realize that McDonald's and Wendy's and certain type of restaurants that you eat is not good. It makes your body sick. And a lot of people don't realize when you do this surgery called biological surgery, it's a surgery where they make the stomach smaller. You know what I'm saying? And when you make the stomach smaller, it deteriorates. You can't even swallow things down in your body because your mental data is how it causes you to understand the growth about it. I just feel like when we look at your mental health keys of data, it's more like, okay, I'm looking at my health, and I'm looking at my weight, and I look at what I was before. And losing weight helped me realize that when I lost the weight, I felt better about myself, to be honest with you. My family was like, you need to put the look of meat on your bone. I said, need to tell me I will put my meat on my bone because I want to look big that you look big. You know what I'm saying? I want to look different and than other people is. So after this, I'm taking the BM5 to Queens, and I'm going to be exploring Queens and mental health as my assignment clicks in. I started an assignment in Queens because we learned that Queens is a community where a lot of people, I get a lot of hits in Queens actually. I actually started my assignment in Queens. I got about 1.3 thousand views over by in Queens, in, I think it was in Far Rockaway or the area in Queens I was. And after I got that 1.5, 1.3 million views, I see what people like. A lot of Manhattan Neighborhood Network staff members, they follow me on TikTok and YouTube, and they like my work because I do this as an assignment for me to build up my career. And certain things is when I build up my career, it's like I have a lot of fans that really respect me as a person and not judge me and look back at me as something wrong. But I feel like when I look at my mental health and I look at my eco body system, I'm looking at myself as a number one Dalmatian. But sometimes my number one Dalmatian don't keep me into what it is that I'm looking at. You understand what I'm saying? So I look at data. I look at fast food data. And my fast food data is this. I could look at myself as 101. And when I look at my Dalmatian lifestyle, I can choose between who I am later and who I am now. So when I look at who I am later, it's like we could build up community. We could build up a style that when I look at my flavor of love and flavor of life, I can't look at it as a one Dalmatian. I look at it as 100 Dalmatian. Because if I feel like my one Dalmatian is not going to look clear to me, I'm not going to see it. Because if I don't see it, I'm not going to learn. And if I don't learn, I'm not going to see it. Because when you look at what it is that I'm doing and what it is I'm trying to accomplish, I can't accomplish one thing and try to get to one feeling of what it is that I'm getting to. But sometimes I gotta learn how to divide those two things in my life that I could build from that. You know what I'm saying? But looking at this, right? Let me read you the part that I'm gonna read. All right, so let me go back to that part. Actually, what I just said. Basketball wellness. All right, so let's read it. So at Basketball Wellness, we are more than just a clothing brand and a film production company. We are a lifestyle movement that bodies of a spirit of sports and wellness and community. Our operational footprint scan both online platforms and physical location allow us to connect in our diversity customers based across Connecticut, Maryland, New York City, and Boston, which dedicate teams of 30 employees. We are committed to deliver quality products and services that reasonable of our target audience. Our offering of includes unique merchandise, collaboration with Athletes Wellness Workshop, and exclusive film screenings and sports documentary, sports nutritionist products, and a range of athlete gear and accessories. Each product and service designs of inherited a living of our customers, blending the world of sports and wellness seamlessly. So at the end of the day, I could look at my sports as a documentary. I was working on a documentary with one of my I'm working on a documentary with one of my actors, and one of the documentary is my life and how my life is dedicated to this work. And the thing about my life is that it's called A Home and a Hub, and this is what it is. Let me tell you what it's about. A home and a hub. This isn't a typical housing project. We're creating a vibe, max use community hub that brings together modern apartments, realtor shops, mental health services, and wellness spaces, all under one roof. From a health food restaurant to basketball wellness centers, a mental health clinic to a community lounge of a rooftop and a barbecue social seating, everybody's design of a nutrient, a well-being connection. We know that good mental health is feeling connected and deeply linked where and how we live. Let's stop right there. Where and how we live. If you live in Brooklyn, if you live in Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Manhattan, you call yourself community mental health hub, right? If you live in areas where you look at community, you can thrive in that community. But the thriving of the community is that you structure balance what it is that you're thriving about, and the things that you want to, like the way you want to thrive is the way you can think together, and to think together is how we think clearly of what we want and what we want in life. And at certain things is that I tell my little man, I tell my oh my kid, I love you, Sean. I love you, Sean, Joshua, Isaiah, Dietrich, and Layla. And yeah, I love my kids, right? So one thing I tell my kids, growing up, I said it to them. I said, if I'm having a bad day at work, they will tell me, you having a bad day, Dad. You having a bad day? I say, yeah, I'm having a bad day. And they sit down, they listen, they talk to me. They say, you gonna go to work and you gonna make this money. You gonna come home and you gonna put your mind where your mouth is, And I tell my sons and my daughter, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a dad, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I come out and say I'm a dad. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where my kids came from, because they didn't come from me. They came from their mother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a very good dad to my kids, and I love my kids. And let me tell you, I love my kids because my kids are my number one Dalmatian. You know what I'm saying? My little princess Layla. Everybody see her on my screensaver. That's my princess, my daughter. And my sons, I got kids that manifest in the blending of what it is that I love. And as a dad, I love being a dad because a dad is a figure that I never had when I was a kid. Because my father walked out on me when I was 9, so I never had a daddy figure. I never had a manly figure in my life to teach me manly tools and how to fix certain things. I have to learn it from my mom's friends because my mom had a lot of friends coming over, and I used to call them dad and stuff like that. And my mom is like, where would my mom keep arguing with my father because my father wasn't there, because it's like mental health wise he was going through it because he became a father at 18 years old, and he was working as a UPS delivery driver. And at the day, you never know that, I can't hate my dad. I always forgive my dad. I can't hate him for that because he had to work. And the thing about it was, you can't hate your dad because your dad wasn't there. You feel me? You gotta love your dad because your dad was a superhero. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when my dad walked out on me and I never get to see him I used to see him on weekends, but not during the school hours because he's always busy working. I never get to see him. So when my dad is like, I ain't gonna cry like a little baby because I'm not a baby no more. But I'm 30 something years old and I'm not a child that could cry and say, okay, what happened to my dad? Nah, I'm not gonna do that because mental health wise, I see it why he did that. Because he was already become a dad. He was too young. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you too young become a dad, it's like your mental health data switch because your personality comes differently. And thinking about it is that thinking about what my dad went through when he was a kid because his father raised him to be aggressive. And the other day, when you talk about his dad was aggressive. And, when his dad never wanted to have kids. And when my father became a dad young, it's like he didn't want, he wanted for me to understand that, kids is a responsibility until when I reach a certain age, he couldn't handle it, He took me off of his insurance. He took me off of everything. So I had to go and find insurance for me to get treatment because, when I'm going through it, I struggle with Klinefelter syndrome. And, I had to get treatment for what I was going through. And then when I was under his insurance, I had the good treatment until he cut me off. When I was in my early teens, they cut me off. And I had to find insurance. And the insurance that I have now, they said I didn't need the test and whatever the testing they needed to be done. But at the end of the day, mental health wise, it's like when I look at my life as a healthy child. You know what I'm saying? But at the hospitals, it made me realize that my health in the hospital was very bad because I struggled with a lot of substance abuse and emotional disorder. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at emotionality, I look at it as a mental health rebirth of crying out. You feel me? I call it Christ. You know what I'm saying? Right? I call it rebirth of Christ. You know what I'm saying? But my rebirth of Christ is when I first met my true love. And I came out as a heterosexual man. I love girls and I came out liking girls. I went to therapy through that and I said, I like girls since I was 13 because 13 years old, I couldn't find my true identity. But now I could find it though. So I was 13 years old. I started falling in love with women. Never gay, never into lesbian, and never into that lifestyle. Never into those things. But I was like, I know my lifestyle was a heterosexuality. Cause at the day is like when you look at coming out, I have respect for the LGBTQ community. I have a respect for them because at the end of the day, heterosexuality is a part of that. Because at the end of the day, you can't look at that as a rebirth. You look at it as a freedom of rights and the freedom of what it is. You know, you can like what you like, but you gotta love what you love, though. You know what I'm saying? You can like. Let me say it one more time. You can like what you like, but you can love what you love. You know what I'm saying? It's your opinion what you like and what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? I never used to like men, but I love girls though. I never used to like certain things. I never used to like men touching on me. I never used to like men putting it in my butt. No, man, I'm not into that stuff. It's just at the end of the day, it's disgusting for me to feel like, okay, if I feel this is what I feel, then you have to respect what I feel. But sometimes you gotta realize that woman is what I love, and as I've been loving it. When I was 13, I loved it. Yes, I said, and I like it anyway because I love what I love. But I respect people. Respect me because they say, "Oh, I like how you talk." I say, "Yeah, I love what I love." But nobody can't change that. And I said to even no pastor, no church can't change that. You know what I'm saying? They try to rebuke me, plead the blood against me and all that. I said, nah, you can't change what I like. You know what I'm saying? If I like what I like, it's what I love. You can't change what I like because mental health data is what I like, is what I like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to let no church change me because I'm not going to let nobody change me for who I like. You know what I'm saying? But as mental health, it's that you're going through mental health as a different stage. But I'm gonna be real with you. The super was like, if you're a heterosexual, I said, yeah, I'm a heterosexual. What you don't like about heterosexual people? And I asked him that. I said, what you don't like? He said, I don't give a F if you this and that. I said, you don't give a F about me being a heterosexual, but you don't care about being able to help the community that you supposed to be fixing what you're supposed to be doing. But I feel like when you don't fix what you do, you get in the hang of what you want to do. And I said to him that in my show, I talk about freedom of speech because when I have a right to talk, I have a right to express myself in a different way. But nobody can block me or talk to me about what it is that I like to do. What I like is what I like. But I'm not going to look at it as a building equity. I'm going to look at it as a building stabilized foundation equity. You know what I'm saying? But my equity is about building community, and that's what we're here to do. Mental health is about building community and knowing your reflection of community. But the way how we build community is how we define your social media. And that's what I'm saying. Let me tell you. I'm gonna ask you a question. What will you build together in your mental health? Like, that's a good question. What would you build in together in your mental health? And the one question I don't understand with it, right? The one question I feel about it, right? Affordability, rent stabilized apartments with water touch, like in unit washer and dryers. Full accessibility to everyone regarding ability to feel welcome and comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And security system and fosters safety from cameras, hallways, and secure entrances. Vibes, community spaces have basketball court, playground, fitness, pool, media studios, tenant lounge, and a bowling alley and a movie theater. On-site real estate services, rental services, and spas, beauty salons, health foods, restaurants, and supermarkets. And integrated communities such as centers offered healthcare, mental health clinics, and childcare help access government resources. With all these politics within maintaining healthy safety environments where families can grow, neighbors to become friends. And the one thing about it is, why does it matter to me that I want to do that? Why does it matter? It matters because affordable housing isn't enough, but the quality of community is enough, of support systems that you could build from. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like when you look at different lives, data shows that empathy and quality service can come together. All outcomes, especially mental health outcomes, improving across the boards. You know, and I look at my grandmother Barbara Rankin as a way. You know what I'm saying? I look at my community as Barbara Rankin Way because the community that I was raised at, I named it after my grandma because she was raised and she raised all her kids on 1543 North Street in my apartment, the second floor. So when I was raised at 5043 North Street, I realized that my building was named after a person that was divine. I actually know my grandma for years, and my grandmother moved in New York in the early 80s. And when, in the early 80s, back in the 80s, a lot of people didn't have that much, and we end up living in a one bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? And raise your hand if you know when you was living in the 80s. How many of you were born in the 80s? Raise your hand. No, let's say that. How many of you were born in the 80s? Raise your hand. Right? So when you was born in the 80s and your mother didn't have enough room for you to live, where you used to sleep in a one bedroom apartment, correct? And how you used to take a shower when you didn't have no hot and cold water running? What you used to do? We used to go out to the beach and build up a fire hose to take a shower outside. You know what I'm saying? We had to, when we didn't have no light. Back in the 80s when you didn't have no light, how are you supposed to survive? You had to light candles up, right? You had to light candles how to get to survive, right? So at the end of the day, you have to understand that when you look at your response of that, you look at your mental health data as a what? As a reflection of what it is, right? So back in the 80s, and I was born in the 90s. How many of you was born in the 90s? Raise your hand. And then in the 90s, when you was in the 90s, and I was born in 91 actually. Let's get it. I was born in 1991. And back in 91, when I was born, I was raised in 1543 North Street. And when I was raised in 1543 North Street, I learned that, looking ahead of 1543 North Street, I learned that a community housing is responding to urgent needs of creating a place that more just building but foundation of well-being opportunities. But my mental health data is opportunities that I could build from. And looking ahead, over the next 30 months, we'll be working closely with the city officials to community partners and residents that could make this vision a reality. But the permanent open door mental health is to create a data for people to realize that when you create a data, you're creating a community. Let me say that again. When you create a data, you're creating a community. When you create a community, you're creating your own data because your data is how you build and how you do certain things in your life and your style of living. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at my conversation of community, I look at my data as a revelation. But my revelation of data is about mental health data. It's about learning how to create community as far as creating a relationship. And I know a lot of people have struggles with relationship. And let me give you some cues. Let me give you some point and cues about relationship. And I tell women, let me say to brothers, everybody brothers, my message to you, brothers. Let me tell you, when a woman is on their cycle, leave them alone. When they on their hormone, when they have their hormones popping up like 55 in a cobble stick, you leave their hormones alone. You know what I'm saying? When their hormones look at Papa Sousa and Hopper and Hill Hopper, you gotta leave that hormone Hill Hopper alone. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when the Hill Hopper go up, you and they wanna do it, and it's like, nah, not tonight, baby, not tonight. I'm not gonna do it tonight. And your mental health shows that women have the highest estrogen level in Brooklyn. Women have a highest estrogen level in Brooklyn. That's what I'm saying. In Queens and Manhattan, women have a highest estrogen level. And let me tell you, when a woman have a high estrogen level, you gotta know how to stand back. Don't go near the estrogen level. Stand back. Stand down. Don't let them call the health department on your behind. Stand down. Cause you don't want the health department to find you. Yes, hey, you don't want the health department to find you if your estrogen level high like Papa C. You know what I'm saying? Well, Papa Duke can't get the hormone up. Y'all men need to stay away from the estrogen level of a woman, cause they got some high estrogen levels. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, looking ahead. Yeah, you gotta open the door of your journey of partnership. And sometimes you gotta open the door of partnership with a person. And sometimes the person's partnership is your data of what relationship is. I can tell you, I look at partnership as a revival. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, revival is like this. When I look at revival, I can't do my little dance and do my little How I do my little running back and I'm gonna do ain't no hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that dance for my mental health. But I can't say let the people of the community say amen to that. But I'm not gonna put it up like this. I tell people I ain't no church service. You gotta shut that down right now. I ain't no church service. We're gonna shut it down right now. We are a teaching, a lifestyle channel. That's what we are. Let me say it again. We ain't no church service that you gonna stop and keep jumping and preaching all that. No, we not like that. We are a lifestyle channel that could teach you something that guides you in your mental health lifestyle channel. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no teaching church. We ain't gonna how to praise the Lord. No, we ain't like that. We gonna shut that down right now. We are a lifestyle channel where you can understand your mental health differences as a what? As a one creation divided into what? One, not two. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at a conversation, it's about building community. It's about understanding what your community is. Ain't no hallelujah, praise the Lord. Nah, we ain't doing that. We sit your behind down and listen. When you hype, your extra level hype, woman, sit down. You know what I'm saying? Your extra level's too hype. Sit down and relax and enjoy life, because your life is about build up your community with mental health data. I ain't gonna you sit down and relax. Cause you don't need your extra level going up as Hill Harper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Hill Harper can't come down on you. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, you got infrastructure of your life, and once you infrastructure your life, you can't build up from that. But my present principle is like this. I tell you, when you look at that, yo, I'm not going like, yo, I said I can't control Neffy's estrogen level, man. I can't control her estrogen level. Her estrogen level is up to 102. Yes, I ain't gonna no. I gotta tell her take a chill pill. I said take a chill pill, baby. Take a chill pill, baby. Take a chill pill. Yes, I ain't running down the block with your estrogen level and all that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know what it is that you're building up from that. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm a learn from the experience of life. You know. And when your vision reality is like, all right, I'm a vision reality. But the issue of reality is that you could deal with a lot of people, but mental health data, we could deal with a lot of success with people. But the success is that your mental health is how you divide your peace. But at the end of the day, I tell the woman that your estrogen level is too high for me. No, we're gonna sit down and relax. Take a chill pill and relax for that. You can't let that estrogen level get to you, because man is different than woman. Let me get that straight. Man is quieter than woman. You know what I'm saying? When your man relax, woman they just go hypothermia and run down the block and jumping like it's a church service. We ain't no church. We're a lifestyle channel. Let's get that straight. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no church though. Let me tell you, we are a lifestyle channel that makes things straight. You know what I'm saying? You come on the show and you come in here talking about this and that. We gotta put you. We gotta shut you down right now. We coming on a lifestyle channel, and it's about a teaching channel, and not about no. Ain't not about no. Let me tell you, it's not about no hallelujah channel. We ain't like that. No. We gonna put that down. You know what I'm saying? But the infrastructure of building of community is together, that you could build more than just communities. Build a mental health data of community. You know what I'm saying? But a mental health data is like, we could have a conversation, but when I have a conversation with you, you gotta know when to lower your tone, because I'm not talking to a person loud down West 34th and 10th Avenue. Nah, I'm talking to you as I'm here, talking to you as a person that could understand what it is. But my personality is this. You don't need to be loud to talk to me. You could be low. You could have a build up location futures, but when you're talking to me, lower your tone. We in business here. We're not down to Seaview Avenue doing the Macarena. I'm not doing the doing the little we're not doing the little 1, 2 and the 3, 4 and the hey. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Come on, we're gonna sit down and have a previous conversation about mental health data. We're not doing the Macarena. We're not doing that. We gonna sit down and you're gonna learn a lesson. And if you don't want to learn, then you're gonna go do the dub and we gonna walk it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to dub and work it out, you actually just need to calm down and relax. We're not doing the hallelujah show. We're doing the mental health show. That's a show as teaching you life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to know about life, then that's your issue. But I'm gonna say, Wendy Williams will say, "How you doing? How you doing?" You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Because you not how you doing. You how you how you doing down the block on Seaview. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand how it is that you have to build from that. You know what I'm saying? If I could be a person and I be a big fan, I've been a Wendy Williams fan since when I started watching her show and when she was on Channel 9. Every evening at 4:30, my grandma used to turn her on. My grandma used to turn her on the TV, and she said, "Hot topics, how you doing? Hot topics, let's go to hot topics." And she talks about mental health, and especially in the community. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at Wendy Williams, when you look at Wendy Williams, you look at yourself as a person of what interests, and a person that could build up your mental health, and a person that could understand what her talk show is about. You know what I'm saying? But you can't look at partnership as a progress. You look at it as a success. Let me tell you that again. You can't look at a partnership as a successor. You look at it as a success and key of what? Community. I could tell you, when you build up a partnership, you build up a place where people could understand you and listen to you and understand how it is to build up what your lifestyle is. And this is what it is. I could say, I could build up a future and I could develop a mental health general data. And sometimes my general data is this. Basketball wellness is a general studies of how we psychiatrically understand your mental health data, right? So I'm gonna go to the composition average of mental health data, if you don't mind. All right. So our composition adventures lies into our ability to create unique merchandise and collaborate with athletes that reasonable deeply of our target audience. By partnering with athletes that share our values, we are able to produce exclusive designs, but not only to celebrate sports, but promote wellness. And sometimes, and let me tell you something, let me say this to you because I wanna put this on my show because Manhattan Neighborhood Network's producers and faculties need to understand this is not this is not no promotion show. Let me say this. This is not no promotion show. We're not gonna promote no products on the show for that. It's not a promotion show. This is a lifestyle show where you teach about building up your wellness of basketball. It's not about I'm gonna come in here and sell my products on to make money. No, it's not about that. It's about building up a community that people will listen and understand the lifestyle of what we are doing and what our accomplishments are. We can't. This is not no organization where you bring your product and say come and come on the show and say, oh, let's make a sell. No, we're not doing that. We're doing a lifestyle teaching where you can understand the meaning of what your business and what your attitude and latitude are. You can't just come on the show and say, I want to sell my stuff online. No, this is not a place to sell your stuff. No, this is a place for you to understand, to build up your legacy, and how when you go out in the world, you could provide resources to do your work. But it's not about you selling yourself. You're selling yourself on TV for you to get money. No, I'm not into that stuff. Let's get that straight. I'm into coming here doing a teaching lifestyle for you to understand what I'm capable of doing. I create samples for Basketball Wells for me to do create a website so I could in the future I could plan an event where I could start making my product be sensational. But this is not a show where you come on with your products and they say I'm gonna rock it. And no, we're not doing that. We come on here to teach you about how to build up your mental health and dividing the truth about yourself. And everybody realize when you come on the show, you're not coming on the show to sell yourself. You're coming on the show to promote yourself and to make better decisions for your own career. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's about building up community. It's not about you selling yourself to community. It's about building up your foundation of community. You know what I'm saying? And I look at community as an understandable acknowledgement. And my acknowledgement of this, we could build up foundation and we could be foundation. But when it come on to community data, we're gonna have the community data on life. And we're gonna put our foot down on that. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna put no church in that. No, we're gonna put the lifestyle challenge in your mind for you to be able to understand what your mindset is. But let me say that right here. Let me go back. Let me. All right. So let's continue what I'm about to say. Right. So that engage to physical and mental well-being. Our strategy present a key market as of Connecticut, New York City, and Boston allow us to effectively reach out to engaging our customers and fostering loyalty in community around our brand. Furthermore, our commitment to affordability of our product services that a low income individuals making us trusted choices in the market. So the mental health theme of the year 2026 is the year the year of what? So the mental health show is a year of the mental health show theme for 2026 for the show is a year of newer benefits and growth in health and social justices. New management social justices is to begin a transition of social identity of mental health. And this is the goals that we thinking about, the goals for the show, right? So the 1.4 goals of the show is, in short-term goals, we aim to establish strong online presence and brand and reconciliation of long-term goals involving expanding our market reach of introduction. Our new product line focus on stability of our struggles involving target marketing campaigns, community engagement, and contribution of influence. The guideline of mental health management is to promote and improve product marketing and brand strategies. All right. So copy these three things down real quick. Mental health management is to improve your brand, equals to develop your brand, help your strategies, equals targeting your influence and building your strategies, impacting your economic positions, financial planning and your development, creativity, your direct and growth. Growth is about creating your future self, building up your future self. Growth is finding directions, equals learning in progress, learning how you will achieve. All right. So number one about this organization management is organization structure. Write this down. Is organization structure meaning the business is managed directly by the owner and streamlining decisions that makes coverage in brand visions. Management team, a solid partnership. The founder of oversees the aspects of your business, but provide products that development to a market strategy. Number four, advertising board. Currently, there's no advertising board, but however, engaging in industries expert may be critical in business growth and human resources to focus on collaborativity and workplace culture and extension for outgoing development and retaliation of talent. All right. So this is what it is. It's about description. Is about unique sell proposition and product life cycles. All right. So this is what it is. Right. So the advertising it counts with you. It counts with you to redesign your capability of your wellness of mental health data. Your mental health data is a low income affordability. So if you structure with that, you structure with affordability in all terms. And what are the terms is? It's about building up the identity of your life. So we're going to turn to where we at here. And we're going to turn to how we're going to do it. And I'm building up a company that is going to make mental health sensational. And this is what it is. A success is about what building basketballs up to the top of 58 and 58. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta build up for the future of significant growth, and significant growth is about dividing the significant growth and significant structures. And let's think about the two. Significant growth. If you want to be a successful boxer, go ahead and do that. You're going to build professional wellness by being a successful boxer. You're going to make a life choice of being a successful wellness. If you're going to be a professional basketball player, you go ahead and pursue your dreams. If you're going to be an artist, you're going to go ahead and be an artist. If you're going to be a lawyer, doctor, go ahead and do that. But you got to understand, you put that structure ability to your mental health goal. And one of the things I want you to write down is unique merchandise, unique product management, unique product style, unique different of management your brand. So management means that you're partnering in collaboration of deeply target your target audience. Who are you gonna do it for? Who are you gonna audience to? Who is your audience? And how are you gonna maintain your audience? And this is what it is. It's about audience of your life and audience of what your lifestyle is. I can lift up my hands like this and say, I could build up my mental health in 1, 2, 3, 4. But my hand could raise up like this, and my hand could drop down in 1 minute. You understand what I'm saying? But I can look at my low income individual as a trusted choice of marketing. But my mental health brand is how we divide. You ain't coming to show selling me your products. No, we're not doing that. Let me put it. My show is about lifestyle and teaching you how to build up your brand. But I'm not gonna build up your brand by you coming on my show saying, okay, I'm selling a shirt for $15.99. No, we're gonna X that out. We're gonna learn how to be professional and learn about mental health data. We ain't learning about you gonna come on my show and say I'm selling my shirt for $15.99. Nope. We're not doing that. We're doing what it's called lifestyle channel and how we build and develop. This is not a studio where you could come and sell your products. No, it's a studio where you could get the teachers and understand and train you and how to be a better community producer, how to be a better entrepreneur. It's not about being how we develop. It's about how we understand the proposition of how your lifestyle choices are. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. As we continue, right? So furthermore, let's read. Our competitors adventure lies on our ability to create unique merchandise. So athletes of reasonable deeply with target audience. By partnering with athletes to share our values, we are able to produce exclusive designs and celebrate sports, but promote wellness. Additionally to our offering of through wellness workshops and build up physical and mental health well-being. Our strategy is a key market such as Connecticut, New York City, and Boston allow us to effectively reach our engage in our customers, foster and loyalty customers around our brand. Furthermore, our commitment of affordability and our product services that accomplishment of low income residents and make us trust more make us trust and choose in marketing. And I think about the significant structures of it, right? So our financial summary of it is that we're looking for a fortune of growth and approach a strong marketing. And the revenue stands of growth rate of 90%. The growth that expands product lines and increases brand awareness. But the brand awareness of sports and management is that you engage in the clear vision of your dedication team. Your dedicated team is your workers that you work with. Your dedication team is going to help your mental health brand be successful. But your mental health and lifestyle, it have to be successful and build up your quality and your what do you call it? Cartilation. And our cartilation is that when you develop a brand, you develop your key points of your divide. And when you divide yourself into one dimension. And one dimension to 100 dimension is not one, it's one dimension. And one dimension is for you to have a key point of what your dimension is and how you're going to get to that point. And the one thing about it is when you learn about how can you improve about being financially stable in your mental health data, how can you improve that? Let's go into that. And how can you improve that is by what? Number one, write this down. It's about promotion. It's about promotion activities that will involve collaboration with local influencers, sports events, and sports discounts. And this is what it is: seasonal discounts in your mental. You gotta have a seasonal discount in your battle. Yes, sir. Seasonal discount in that will meditate into a seasonal discount of your reflection. Your reflection is how you put yourself in. You gotta put yourself together. You can't come in your show looking like 50 Cent on doing ding dong. Nah, we gotta put on a show. You gotta come in here professional and have your hair cut. You have to have your face done. You have to have your body image together. You have to put your clothes together. You gotta be able to build a promotion together. And sometimes your promotion styles is how you lift up the person's lifestyle, and how you grow is how you develop. And that's what I said that's one time. How you grow is how you develop. And the one thing about it is customers regeneration, funding requests, using how the way to use your funds, and financial projection. And the management that we're doing is what we're doing is build up a lot of basketball wells. This is the logo that I use in my company, and as you can see, it's on my shirt stem, right? All right, let's go back to what I'm doing. So, okay, let's keep talking. All right, so let's go down to what we're gonna talk about. All right, let's continue. So it is about creating a clothing brand in film. It's about creating mental health as a mental health data in film. And certain things that I deal with in film is about creating a writing of films and all over the films and all over management and branding management. And the things about it is I'm in the process of creating a jacket like this. And as you can see, it has a basketball logo on it, right? So let me tell you, when I come on the show, I come to the show prepared and ready to work and ready to be how and ready to gather my thoughts and how I gather my thoughts and how I put myself together. And how I gather my thoughts is how we understand what we doing in this episode. And gathering my thoughts is how we put our mind and how we build up our community, right? So the way how we gather our thoughts is how we put mental health in the building up a community of mental health data, right? So let's go deeply down to what we're going to be doing. So looking ahead in the next 30 months of mental health show, over the 30 months, we'll be looking closely at our city official community partners and residents to make this vision a reality, right? So we encourage you to open up the doors of your journey of partnership and progress to your coworkers. Open up how you develop yourself in a different dimension. Open up what really matters to your mental health. Open up to who you are capable of doing and how you could open up to yourself. And what I do with my read when I read the manic myself is how I build up what my strategy is. And the number one thing that I learned is called market strategy, right? It's the market strategy. Market strategy approaches a centered delivery of customer service and engaging both adults and youth while focusing on the unique challenges of low income families that how they face. Right? So how you face a mental health data is how you approach it in a different dynamic, right? Excuse me. Significant landscapes. What should significant landscapes are building a mental health data? In marketing where affordable can be often composed of high costs and permanent competitive strategy involving creating a unique value of proposition that centers in ability and accessibility. And the accessibility is how you could develop is how you build up community. And how you build community is how you develop in your characteristics. And some people don't realize that your landscape is how your mental health community supports. And your landscape is how you do certain things in life. My life is about build up a mental health that could critique of how I divine my space of mind. And my space of mind is this. When I look at mental, I look at it as a divine peace. And how my peace is how my mental health is. And sometimes you can't look at getting up every morning at 5 o'clock and say, listen, I'm going to make my mental health like as a Geronimo. You know what I'm saying? But my Geronimo is this. I could go push on 56 Cabo Avenue in Delaware, Brooklyn, and I could say, listen, I ain't no Delaware, Brooklyn, but I'm in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? There's no Delaware, Brooklyn. And everybody said, where's the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China not in New York. If you want to go to the Great Wall of China, you got to take the airplane to China. And that's what the Great Wall of China is. And they talk about Chinatown, Manhattan. You take the Q and R train to Canal Street. That's Chinatown right there. Or then the J and Z train right there. You know what I'm saying? Or the one train at Canal Street. You know what I'm saying? But you talk about the Great Wall of China, everybody doesn't even know what the Great Wall of China is. And you talk about where the Great Wall of China. Great Wall of China is your mental health down. Is take the airplane to China and you go see the Great Wall of China. You know what I'm saying? But everybody say that the audience that you reach is a transition of digital market strategy. But my target audience for this show is to young adults, and low-income families. That's what my target audience is. My target audience is to reach out to young families young adults, and also to seniors as well, because they need to know the difference of training them how to build up their mental health dynamics. And certain things is that this lifestyle channel, it teach you about your mental health dynamics. It doesn't teach you about
Great.
understand the significance of building up your target. It's about teaching you how to critique your target artist as a number one dimension. And this is what it is. It's about understanding your critiques of your life and how your lifestyle is and how you build up your channel. And you build up your channel by this. My YouTube channel went from 1 to 2005 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? How I did it? I did by I did by listen, let me talk real quick. I did by reaching out to people out in the areas where I work, assignments where I work. So I was in Far Rockaway, and I was in over by Howard Beach. I went to Jamaica, Queens. I went to South Jamaica, Queens. I was over by Glendale, Queens. I was over by Ridgewood, Queens. You understand? Ridgewood, New York. It's a border of Brooklyn. It's a border of Bushwick. It's a border of Brooklyn and Queens.
Can you hear me?
Right? It's a border of the first border of Brooklyn and Queens. You understand? I went to Brooklyn. I went to Coney Island. I went to Sheepshead Bay. I went to all over the globe in
My
Brooklyn.
show voice.
So my target audience is reaching young adults and young low income families that's struggling.
And this is
That's
our
what I'm
time.
saying? And you struggling because mental health is about creating data to help
took
them
me
grow
trained,
out their
and it
struggle
was very
and to
long
put their
and
struggle
painful.
into reality. And sometimes your struggle is your test. Let me say it again. Your struggle is your test because your test is your reality. And sometimes when your reality checks out,
I'm
your
just gonna close the
struggle
door
is
just
how
in
you
case.
divide your reality and how your peace of mind divides who you are as a person.
Okay.
But I can tell you, I can't go down to Brook there and say hi, hello, how you doing,
Okay,
and tell
sure.
you to shut up because you jumping like it's a church service. We not no church service. Sit down. Your energy level's too high for me. Come on, get in the groove. Sit down. Get in the group of understanding your lifestyle channel. Because your lifestyle channel, it doesn't rain drop on your head. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's going to rain drop on your mental health data, how you define yourself and how you purpose yourself. But my purpose is this. My purpose is to find myself in a good divine nation. But my divine nation is this. I could go run down the block and say I'm heavy loaded. But I'm not heavy loaded, but I'm good with culture. But my culture is this. I could look at my life and build up my life and divine my sociality. My sociality is this. I could see myself living as a dynamic. My culture is this. I could see myself doing it big and not go home. You know what I'm saying? If I do it big, I'm not going home. If I don't do it big, I'm gonna go home. But if I do it big, I'm gonna go to a place where I could be more progressive at. You know what I'm saying? So right after this, I'm gonna take a trip down to Woodhaven Boulevard, and I'm gonna take the BM5. Like I said, I'm gonna go down to Queens and do my work assignment because my work assignment is to serve the community with mental health data. And when I serve the community, I'm serving the community with a data of knowledge. Let's write that down. The serving the community with a data of knowledge, strength, what do you call it? Let me say that again. Strength, knowledge, and foundation. All right, write that down. Strength, foundation, and knowledge. So one strength is to build you up. Foundation is to surround you with community, and also knowledge is to create wisdom and knowledge in your biorhythm in your mind. Sometimes your mind biorhythm defines you by your opportunity of your biorhythm, and sometimes your biorhythm doesn't make you strong. It don't make you weak. It makes you stronger, and how you develop and how you grow. And sometimes when you grow, it's about the building of your mental status. And sometimes your belly can be big like this. I know this is extra skin, but my extra skin is like this. Where my extra skin build up, my extra skin could build up like this. That's how your extra skin go. But sometimes you have to understand what your data is and what your outcome is and how you divide yourself into that outcome. And it's like your outcome is like this. And we got about 1 hour. We got about 58 minutes. We're gonna run this out. We're gonna run this out to 1 minute. All right, let's run it out real quick. So we could run this out as a matter of principles. And when your principle data is, we can control all the data in the world, but you have to control one thing is building up. Write this down. Build up your knowledge, and your knowledge
Okay.
that
Thank
teach
you.
you how to grow is to teach you how to understand how to relax. And woman, the message to all the women: reduce your estrogen level. Do not if your
Yes.
hormones go high
How many
as
cameras do I
Kuta
have?
Kende, you got to reduce your hormone and get in the head of the game. Stop
Oh.
building up your estrogen level. Tone it down, baby. Turn it
Yeah.
down, girl. Turn it down, baby love. Turn it down.
To
We're gonna
last
take your
person
estrogen
that
level up to
was here when I
up
was
to the
recording.
Q's and don'ts. Tone it down, baby.
think
Tone
I'm-
it
I'm
down,
not-
love. Tone it down. We ain't jumping up. We ain't jumping up. We ain't jumping like a church sir. We ain't jumping like that. Tone it down, baby. Tone it down, love. Tone it down, woman. Tone it down. You gotta understand how to tone yourself down and look at your mental health data as a sensational. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna build we gonna able to build community and able to understand what your community's lifestyle is and understand the tools of that progress and how we could progress and how we could build. And then we're gonna be progressive together. But as a heterosexual brother, I learned from this. Woman, control your temper.
All right, that's
Men,
very
relax.
disappointing.
Woman, control your estrogen level
also
and
no one
understand
told
the,
me that.
the proposition of your estrogen level is how you define your peace of mind and how you can be successful. And that's it for the mental health
So
show
how long are
today.
you going
And I
to
hope
be
that you
here?
enjoy the rest of your afternoon and your evening. May your traveling mercies bring you good hope and happiness in your life.
Okay, but like, so I have multiple episodes to record, so it's not just hit record and then like leave forever. So what? How do you want to handle that?
I'm gonna go into